Alright, so in this video I'm going to talk about how to get the luminance, the shades, and the tints, and then also the relationships between the three colors. So we did the hue, saturation, brightness in Photoshop. We kind of have to do the same thing for the luminance, the shades, the tints. It's the only place that I know that it's available. The shades and the tints we can do in InDesign. So let's say we want to make a shade. So I'm going to click on this color right here. Oh, actually, let me create a color. So I'm going to go over here and actually I'm going to go to my color panel, my swatches, get a nice cyan. So this is 100% cyan, no magenta, no yellow, no black. So to do a tint of this, I just go up here to the top here and I could say 60% and hit return. And now I have a 60% tint. So the way that tints work is you're adding more white to the color. All right, and the way that a shade would work is you add more black to it. So if I want to add black to this, first let me create a new swatch from that. So I have that tint right there. It says 60%, but let's add some black to it. So I just double click that, and now I'm going to add in some black. So now I'm doing 30% black, so now it's a shade. So the more black I'm adding, it's a shade. The more white I'm adding, it's a tint, all right? And you can see that down here, so tint at the bottom. All right, so we covered the tints and the shades, but there's another place, like I said, in Photoshop, which is covered, which allows you to do this as well. So luminance is pretty much the same thing as shades and tints. It's just done, it's something that applies to all the colors and you can adjust them individually. So I'm gonna go over here, file, let me open an image because you have to have an image open. Let's see, open recent. Thought I had something. Oh, I'm in InDesign. So file, open recent. I usually have a photo. All right, so I have this photo right here. To get to my luminance, the only place I know of getting to it is under filter. And we can go to filter, camera raw filter. And this takes us into camera raw. Camera is where you edit raw images that you've taken with your DSLR, or your video camera, and it usually allows you to edit these raw files that have a lot of data and a lot of color, and make them into files that you can bring into Photoshop. So anyway, so up here all your controls is pretty much a pared down Photoshop, but we have this nice HSL right here, which allows us to get luminance, saturation, and hue, right? So I'm gonna go straight to luminance. You could fool with the saturation if you want, but I've showed you in the last one to how to do that in Photoshop. But if you go to luminance, so luminance is either adding white or making it more on the dark end. So I'm gonna add more luminance to my red, right? Luminance to my orange. You don't see anything changing because those values aren't the ones that are real prominent in this picture. But if I come down here to my blues and my teals, my aquas right there, so I'm adding more luminance to it, I'm adding more white to it, which makes it feel brighter. It's just like, it's your tints. And then if I add more dark to my greens, I'm giving more shade, so I'm taking away brightness. So essentially this is your luminance of the page. So how bright it appears. Most people think of luminance as brightness as opposed to the opposite of being the shades in the darkness. All right, so I hope this was helpful. Again, you can use these values if you were to just list them and then write the relationship between the colors. Are they analogous? Are they natural colors? Are they triad colors? Warm colors, cool colors, primary colors, and so on. So look at the color families and see how they relate to each other. Do they go well together because they are a convention, meaning something that we're all used to seeing and it's being used over and over again. So think about those relationships, and I hope this helps you on your color assignment. All right.